Hello, everybody. My name is Alexei Krabrov. I'm the founder and organizer of Bay.Area.AI, which is the most established AI meetup in the Bay Area and the world, running continuously for 10 years in person in the headquarters of the best technical companies in the world. Today we're at GitHub. You see all the developer activity happening right behind us. It's the live dashboard. And tonight we have a meetup which covers several key topics in AI programming. It's DSP, project from Stanford, a rigorous way to program LLMs, and we have a series about RAG. So we have RAG, vector RAG, we have graph RAG, we have several speakers. And today I have with me Jiang Chen, who is the head of system and developer relations at Zilliz. And the database is called Milvus. Welcome, Jiang.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot. So you're one of the leading open source RAG companies. So tell us a little bit. It's fairly recent. So how did this project started? How did you become the head of DevRel, and how basically you see all this new area unfolding?
Well, yeah, sure. So everything started from 2019, 2020 when we started to build the first open source vector database in the world, which is called Milvus. And the company behind this is Zilliz. So I know we have two names, so it created some confusion for the users. But yeah, we donated the Milvus project to Linux Foundation Data and AI. But till today, we're still the main contributor and maintainer of the project Milvus. And it has been very popular among the developers. It now has 29K stars. So yeah, really, really awesome numbers. We love to contribute and to create the value to the community. So at the very early days of Milvus, probably most of the users of vector search were in the recommender system and machine learning domain. But however, over the time, as the AI is really democratizing the whole stack of AI-powered search, we have seen more and more users like full stack web developers, mobile developers who didn't really have a lot of experience with machine learning start to use vector search and start to embrace the power of semantic search into their into their tech stack. So this is really a great time to democratize the very complex AI stack, which was only available to large teams, like with hundreds of people in the infrastructure team. Now, like with the ease of use of embedding models and vector database, everyone can build a search. Everyone can embrace RAG or image search into their applications.
No, this is great. So like you got an early start. So you were lucky when ChatGPT hit, right? Suddenly, this kind of whole opportunity happened. And this is interesting because I am now AI community architect at Neo4j, which is an established graph database, which created the segment of graph databases, right? It exists for decades. And so it also is now the key vehicle to dehallucinate LLMs, right? And so it's very interesting. So when you guys started, like, what was the use case, right? It was not LLMs, right? It was more traditional.
Yeah, we talk about history. I'll dive a bit deeper into that. So actually, the history about myself is that I had years of experience in search and indexing, in the traditional web search, image and video search. So in the old days, like 5 years ago, not that long ago, there was two vehicles driving the innovation of search technology. One is embedding, aka deep neural networks and all the data generated from them, and the other one is KG. Knowledge graph.
Yes.
So I really think that those are two important technologies. Knowledge graph, the way I see is that it has a structured and systematic way to mine the information out of the unstructured data. Right. And vector embedding is again efficient, systematic way to encode, to extract the representation, to extract the essence of the semantic out of the unstructured data. So both of the technologies are very important in terms of understanding the like giant amount of unstructured data in the world. Because from the even from the web age, most of the information on the world in the world was like web pages, and there wasn't really that much structured data.
Yes.
Yeah. So that in order to tackle this problem, we really need some, rather than having human labor to label the data, to do annotations, we need a more scalable, a more systematic way. And deep neural network and knowledge engineering are very important techniques to tackle that problem. And that's kind of leads to why I believe both the vector database and graph database are popular and will continue to be prosperous.
Yes, it's interesting. When I basically started to follow the community events, you guys were one of the first who started popularizing the RAG, right? Like I think one of the first events I've seen were your meetups, and what was super interesting to me, majority of the people were not the people I've seen in developer communities before. I ran developer meetups for 10 years and more, right? So I started the very first Spark meetup with Matei Zacharia. I ran the biggest Scala meetup. We have the, Apache Kafka, like all these distributed systems, and like you kind of know what traditional developers do. And now we have this completely new generation of developers. Some of them, most of them were not developers before, right? They plunge into this like AI engineers. So like I wonder, how do you go about like teaching, right, as a lead developer, like this new generation of people coming in, right? How do you kind of help them become AI engineers?
Yes.
With RAG.
Talking about the community and making friends with developers and creating value, I think like empathy is the first priority. You need to know like what they are thinking about, what's their the challenges that they are facing. So that despite that most of us came from the database and infrastructure perspective, we do know that as a full stack mobile developer, you probably don't know that much context in machine learning and data infrastructures. And however, in order to build a really awesome application, you have to master that. So how do you do that? I think we are trying to provide two values in terms of this aspect. One is that we're kind of articulating the machine learning and deep neural network technologies from the perspective that any developer without deep experience in machine learning can comprehend. Some of the time you just need to tell a story that really makes sense, like from their perspective, like they are really familiar with, say, microservices.
Right.
And then we talk about, the machine learning stack, not from the models, but from a service or orchestration perspective.
Right.
And I think that's also one of the reasons why, say, LangChain and Llama Index are so popular among the community, because they are really abstracting away those nitty-gritties in machine learning models and data stack. They are really just extracting the important pieces, which are, say, in LangChain, you just need to have a few components, and then you streamline them into a chain. In Llama Index, that's you provide abstraction out of the complex retrieval stack. Maybe it will touch quite a few pieces, but with this simple and elegant abstraction, you just abstract away all of the complexities. And that's the similar thing we are doing here. Like we try to, we choose to partner with all of the awesome RAG orchestration frameworks and evaluation frameworks out in the market, in the open source community, by integrating Milvus and abstracting away, like vector distance metrics and things like that, abstract away those complexities and only leave the most frequently used features in those abstractive API, those interface. However, if you really have a complex problem to tackle, and you need to like fine tune or like customize those knobs, we still provide a way to do that, like through a bunch of complex knobs
for power users.
Yeah, for power users, for the advanced use cases. So that's one thing. The other one is just like what we are doing today, and also what I've been doing a lot in the GitHub, awesome GitHub value. We host the meetup events. We invite the speakers to talk about the new trends in this domain, so that we provide useful information and like best practices to the developers, so that they don't need like 10 years of experience in data pipelines. They can still build an awesome like production-ready data pipeline by leveraging the experience
Yes.
from all of the experts in this domain.
Yes, I really love it that like you really follow the spirit of open source, right? And you not only do your
That's in
own
your
stuff,
heart.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then you invite others. So I started joining these hack days, and like, what I see is like amazing because multiple companies in the space, they kind of bring each other and they together show this stack to developers, right?
Yes.
And because rising tide lifts all the boats. If we help everybody do their piece in the stack
Yes.
better, and we use open source, we do better. So I've started this new community called DevRel, DevRel.AI. It's basically DevRel, but keeping it real, right? And so we kind of, want to invite kind of the best DevRel advocates in it. And my question to you is kind of one of the leading DevRel folks, right, doing this for a while. How do you think we should kind of maximize impact? What works best for developers? Because it's really hard to, like you said, to find what should you do. Like you can just be overwhelmed with all this new information,
Yes.
right? And like there is so many possibilities. You have 5 of these companies. Which should I pick? How should I put them together? Like how do you help developers to think about this? How can they start? And how do we keep them happy by learning more and more and becoming more comfortable with this stuff?
Yeah. So I think first of all, I wish that we can collaborate even more so that we create those integrated, those well-illustrated demos and best practices through notebooks and blogs and even better video content, so that we show developers like how to use those technologies in action by combining a suite of technologies like Neo4j and Milvus, all those great data stack. And in addition, I think we also need to build a lot of, we call it seamless integration. I know the word seamless is kind of overused already, but it really has to be because, when developers are using it, well, you won't think of it as, product A versus product B. We'll think of it as a stack, as a solution, so that by, doing integrations between the adjacent stack like upstream and downstream, for example, embedding models and vector database plus large language model, which is kind of the 3 important pillars in RAG. By doing these kind of integrations, we can provide more like easier way for developer to onboard to this new technology, and as well as kind of plow through all of the challenges and obstacles that developer may come across when they are doing this integration. And the last thing we want them to do is to feel frustrated when they are combining technology A, B, and C.
Right.
Yeah. And also, make friends and host the community events so that we can talk, we can communicate, and collaborate.
Fantastic. So this is what we're doing here. And last question is, maybe you can tell us something fun about yourself, a fun fact, or what do you like to do for fun?
Okay. I guess, yeah, fun fact about my role. Actually, I have never done DevRel before.
All right.
This is probably my 3rd, 4th month doing DevRel. I really came from the engineering and product background. So back in the days, when I was at Google, I was building short video search by doing semantic understanding of the short videos out there, like from TikTok, from YouTube Shorts, Instagram. So at that time, we didn't really have the sense of DevRel because we only have clients, customers, partner teams, in the large organizations. So that it's really, really different working in this open source and this very open community where you have unlimited amount of resources, but at the same time you also constantly face the challenge of connecting to your users and developer friends. So that, yeah, I guess back to the center topic of today is still I think it's never we can't really emphasize the importance of community too much. It's really, really important to foster a community and foster the channel of communication and the free flow of information so that we can better build technologies, but also products.
I feel really happy that you said that because this is the first meetup in the 10-year span we run it, which I run as AI community architect, which is in DevRel.org. So I've been doing it for many years, but this is the 3rd week you said a few months. This third week, I do it officially in the DevRel org, and right? And so I really want to learn from DevRels like you and all of us to teach developers how to tackle this AI thing. So I think with folks like you and Roy and others, like, we're going to do it. I think we're going to bring AI to the people with open source. So thank you, Jiang, and looking forward to your talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, looking forward.